everybody. I have this lovely young lady here with me today, Esther.
Hi! I didn't know you wanted me to do at that point.
And we're going to be talking about being single mums in 2016. So, as some of you guys already know, I'm a mum and I have a 12-year-old daughter who's going to be 13. So this year, Mother's Day, I did a blog post talking about, like, kind of introducing my daughter to everyone, because a lot of people didn't even know that I had a child. So I just kind of used that time to kind of share a little bit about my journey into motherhood. So for those of you who didn't get to see that blog post, I was pregnant at 17. I turned 18 by the time I had my daughter, and I don't know how to describe it. It's all kind of surreal. I didn't quite know what was happening, but I knew what was happening at the same time. You know, my daughter's dad was my first boyfriend. I lost my virginity to him. Had a child with him. So I literally did everything that a woman would do with a man. It was difficult in a sense because obviously I'm a new mum. I was at college at the time, and I kind of had to take a break from college and then go back to college when my daughter was 3 months old, because I was so determined to finish my course. And it's just the whole thing of having that responsibility of another human being and still being so young. But you know, I thank God that I had like so much support from, you know, my side of the family and my daughter's dad's side of the family. So I didn't ever feel like I was struggling by myself in a sense, which I thank God for, because I know not a lot of people get that opportunity. But the years have just flown by. I mean, my daughter's almost 13 now, and I love being a mum. I forget that I'm a mum sometimes. I don't feel like I've missed out on anything. Because even before I had my daughter, I wasn't like raving all the time. I kind of went, I did go out when there was an occasion, but I wasn't one of those hardcore ravers and stuff, so I didn't really feel like I missed out on being a teenager or being a young person that's 19, 20 years old and doing what young people do. I've had a lot of support, and I just thank God for the process. It's been really good. It's been challenging, but it's been good. What about you, Esther?
Well, I had my son when I was 17, and I was with his dad. We were together for about 2 years, but it was a long distance relationship. So, but obviously at the time I was so in love and I really wanted to be with him. I planned to be with him for the rest of my life, like obviously in my head. So I was just happy. I was happy with him, and then I fell pregnant. The only thing that really worried me when I fell pregnant was obviously just like my parents more than anything. Oh
my gosh, and you're Nigerian as well.
I'm Nigerian,
Girl, Nigerian parents and being a pregnant teenager does not mix.
It doesn't mix at all. It's funny because now thinking back, I think if I were to do it all over again, I would have different worries. I would consider other aspects of becoming a mother. But yeah, I fell pregnant, and I told my parents. My mum, she was disappointed, but then, you know, she really helped me out a lot. So yeah, my dad didn't speak to me for probably my whole pregnancy. He just wasn't really interested. But I had my son, and I had the support from my son's dad's family. Also had the support from my mum and, you know, my sister and my son's auntie is also here, so we were quite close at the time, so she would help me out as well. And my son's 8 now. I was telling Amina earlier on that I feel like with the different ages of your child comes different stages and different things that they require from you. And I definitely feel like as easy as it does get, it also gets a lot more difficult, because you find that you need to invest more of yourself into them, not just financially, but also like emotionally, mentally. You need to like stimulate them. You want them to become the best that they can possibly become, whilst not taking away from their personality and what you're trying to like instill into them. But yeah, it's difficult, but then it's like the biggest blessing you could ever imagine. So people say things like, oh, you've done it now, you've got it out of the way. But I'm there like, yeah, I've got it out of the way, but like, you know, it's still like a big responsibility. I'm still gonna probably have to do it again, you know, later on in the future, and just start all over
again. It's gonna be like your first one all over again.
Yeah, honestly.
The gap is so huge. Like, my daughter's almost 13, and y'all know I don't got a man, okay? Okay, been single for like 10 years, okay? So by the time I actually meet someone, get married, and then think of thinking about having another child is such a distant thing, and it's just like it's gonna feel like a whole new first time experience all over again. Having a child is it's a blessing, but you can wait. Okay, you can wait until
you wait. No, I say this and I will say it over and over again. If I had the opportunity to go back in time and really think it through, because you don't think. That's the thing. You think, oh, I'm pregnant. You only think about being pregnant. You don't think about the child that's coming until you have the child. You don't think about having to look for schools until you have to look for a school. You don't think about like them going to the dentist until they actually have to go to it's like little things like that you don't consider. And I always say, if I would go back and think about so many different aspects about becoming a mum, like I would go back and I would just sit myself down and I'd be like, girl, this is gonna happen. Are you ready? This is gonna happen. Are you ready? Are you sure you want to do it? But then it's funny I say that because so many things have happened and I'm still here.
Yes.
I still have my child. Yes. He's still growing by the grace of God. Like everything is working
itself out. It's worked out.
Yeah. So
I mean, I feel like when you haven't planned something and it happens, you know, God has a way of just seeing you through it. Yeah, but when you have the opportunity to actually think and plan, please take that opportunity and don't just be willy-nilly just doing things that could find you in a situation that you don't necessarily need or want to be in.
Having a child is a blessing.
It's definitely
a blessing. Most definitely, because I know some people who, you know, they wish that they could have a child, even just one. They wish that they can conceive easily, and you know we've had that opportunity and we've been blessed to just click our fingers and you're pregnant. But you know, if you can wait. If you're going through something and you feel like you have to make this kind of decision, you need to seek really incredible advice.
Because it's not easy.
It's not easy. I think the definition of single mother has kind of changed in this day and age because I know you have help, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I wanted to actually talk about in terms of the challenges of being a single mum. I just do these commas, because I would be classed as a single mum because I'm no longer with my daughter's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's still in the picture.
So does that make you a single mum? That's the question I always ask.
Yeah, I mean, I would still say that I'm a single mum because my daughter's with me 24/7. Like she's with me most of the time. Yeah. She spends most of her life with me. Yeah. Even though she does have a relationship with her dad and he's there and she does spend time with him, she's not with him as much as she is with me. Like a lot of things, like just little things like day-to-day things I have to handle. Her day-to-day life is my responsibility because she's with me most of the time. There are other people who their dads are just not existent at all. Like the father is just not in the picture, and you really are a single mum. Yeah. You know?
I'm single in terms of my relationship status. I'm single and I'm a mum. Yeah. But to be as a single mum, not really, because the decisions that we take for my son, we make it as a team. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So whatever I want to do, if it's like a big decision, I would have to call his dad because his dad is around. Although, you know, my son does spend most of his time with me. He lives with me. That's just Monday to Friday. Right. His dad has him on the weekends. That's why when people ask me in my vlogs, where's your child? We never see your son. Where's Coco? Blah blah blah. Like you don't see what I do during the week with him because it's kind of private, you know. It's me and him time. But then his dad has him on the weekend. I don't do it single-handedly.
I mean, I think you probably have more of a relationship with your son's dad. You co-parent more because you kind of call him up for decisions and things like that. Whereas I don't necessarily do that. I kind of make decisions, and I just make them. I don't feel like I have to call my daughter's dad in order to make those decisions.
You will find out how it will work from a very early stage.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You have your child. Like when we first broke up, like the beginning stage, the first couple of years, we couldn't actually have a conversation without arguing. Like we had all the emotions and everything going on. Like it wasn't the best of breakups. So it took a long time for us to get to a point where we could actually tolerate each other
and be amicable.
Be amicable. And we're cool now. We're fine. And I just, despite the fact that we got off on a really bad start as being co-parents, he was still able to maintain a good relationship with my daughter. Because one thing I definitely promised myself that I would never be is one of those baby mothers who don't allow their child to see
their dad. Yeah.
Do you know, to see their dad? That I can't, like, why? Why are you stopping your child from seeing their dad? Like, unless they are gonna cause them any kind of harm or cause you harm, then that's different. But if you're doing it out of spite or out of bitterness or out of hurt, it's not helping you. It's not helping your child. You're only hurting yourself. You're only hurting your child. I don't know who my biological dad is. My dad that I grew up with, I didn't have a great relationship with him. And my daughter's dad, he didn't have an excellent relationship with his dad. He saw his dad here and there. So one of the things for me is that regardless of whether or not I was with my daughter's dad or not, I wanted to make sure that she had a good relationship with her dad. So I'm really thankful that I had that. They had that going on. A father's position in a child's life is important.
You will really see the difference.
You know, it's very important. It does affect your life. It does affect your growing up. It does affect the relationships that they will have with people when as they get older. So if you have the opportunity to be able to create a safe environment where your child can still see the dad, then please, like, entertain that and put your issues aside with your child's father and just do it for your child. And don't be thinking about having a child with a guy because you want to keep him either.
Because he will go. See where that goes. Before you say I'm prepped, he's gone. So be very wise.
Don't be trying to trap no guys, okay?
You don't want to be in an environment where you're unhappy, you're unhealthy, you're in an unhealthy relationship and everything around you just feels like it's crumbling. Because it's that then develops all kinds of depressions and illnesses, and it's not good.
It's not good for the child. It's not fair on the child that you bring into the world as well.
So before you get to the stage of co-parenting and making amicable decisions for your child, you have to know where you want to be in life.
Yeah. So let's talk about actually what it's like having a child in 2016. You said your son is 8. And my daughter's 12, so she's about to enter the teenage years. I actually can't believe that I'm going to have a whole teenager. So she's turning 13 in a couple of months, and like it's been quite challenging, I'd say, this phase that she's in right now, because she's obviously got a voice of her own now. It's, you know, gone are the days when I could just be like, be quiet, nah. She'll be like, why? But this, like, giving me her own reasoning that's going on in her head about certain things that she wants to talk about, certain things that she wants to do. So, and obviously they've got the whole peer pressure thing as well in school with friends. And obviously because I've got a girl, I feel like it's more so because then you've got the whole aspect of, you know, self-esteem, beauty, you know, how you carry yourself as a young lady, what's good, what's not good, boys. I don't know if I'm ready for all of that. And then, you know, starting your period. She hasn't started yet, but I'm just
Leave
like,
the girl. When I'm telling them stop it.
But these are the things
Ignore that bit, you guys. Oh, I couldn't imagine my mummy, and she hasn't started her period yet. Oh my god.
And I'm just like, how on earth am I gonna handle it? Like, just the other day, she was just like, I was just changing her nappy, and now she's like going cinemas with her friends and telling me that her friend liked this boy and that boy. And a lot of the girls that and her friends are very like into makeup and looking nice and things like that. And I'm there like, no, you don't need to wear makeup. You're only 12. What do you need to do? What do you know about eyebrows on fleek? Like, what do you know about that? When I was 12, my skirt was all the way down to my knees at school. You know, I didn't really care about my face or how I looked in that sense. So I just find that in this day and age of 2016 and having a growing child, there's so much to do with the social media era, because obviously, you know, I grew up in a time when there was no social media. So now, like, all their friends are on Instagram and they're all taking selfies and taking pictures and
pushing out their lips.
Yeah, pushing out their lips. And like some of my daughter's friends, they're wearing bodycon dresses and stuff. Like, what do you know about bodycon dresses? I did not wear, but I had them big fluffy dresses with the shoulder pads and everything. there's so much more demand on you as a mum to try and keep your child on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Like all the morals and the values that you've been instilling in them since they were little.
Now it comes into play.
Now it comes into play. Now is the challenge of whether or not they're going to adhere to what you've been telling them,
or they're gonna social media
are gonna cause them to rebel and go the opposite kind of way. And it's kind of trying to find that balance of giving them freedom but not too much freedom.
No, definitely. I understand the pressures in terms of having a girl, but I have a boy, so his one it's a lot different, you know, because there's a lot of gang culture, there's a lot of violence, he loves playing video games, and he loves like anything to do with fighting and violence. And at one point it got really bad, that he did several incidents at school, and you know, I was called in, and I was just literally like, you know, the first thing that came out of my mouth was, is that how you were raised? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just took me back to when I was in school, and then I would have situations at school, my parents would have to come in, and my mum would be like, is that what we teach you at home?
Yeah, exactly.
So now, and then when I was saying it to him in front of his teachers, I was just like, is that how you were raised? I try as much as possible to like limit things that he does that I know aren't really good. So, and I know you can't really say to your daughter, don't go out with that girl, don't go. But then my mum used to say that to me. Listen, and now I'm like,
she's had some friends. Sense. She's had some friends. I'm just like, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, no. When my mum used to say that to me back in the day, I'd be like, you don't know her, you can't say that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But when you think back to that friend that your mum used to talk about, you're like, no, okay, mum, she's smart. Yeah, smart mum.
And the thing is, my daughter's at the age where sometimes she feels like she knows everything.
Yeah.
But because she's discovering loads of things, she's having her own reasoning. But sometimes it can come across to me when she's having these debates. Rebellious. Like as if like she knows more than me, and I can hear myself turning into my mum and saying, "I'm older than you. I've been on this planet longer than you. I know more than you. Like don't be telling me how things run. I'm going to tell you how things run." Like, she's a very well-behaved child, but I think she's just getting to that point where she is having an opinion.
Becoming her own person,
and she does like to share her opinion. She does, you know, she's quite strong. She's a bit like me in that sense, that she does like to, you know, argue her point. So sometimes we do have this whole back and forth thing. I mean, one of the main things that we tend to argue about is makeup, because her friends will be wearing makeup, like doing full face concealer, foundation, everything.
Times have changed.
And I'm just like, but they're only 12, 13 years old. What do they know about putting on foundation?
Back in my day,
I'm just like, the most you have is maybe lip gloss, Vaseline even, or just on your lips.
They know the cheap one with the roll-on from the hair shop.
The £1 one. I'm always trying to say to her that you be the natural one. You be the one that when you do wear makeup, it's like, wow, oh my gosh, you look amazing. As opposed to you take your makeup off and they're like, right now she's like so adamant of doing her eyebrows, and I'm like, your eyebrows are fine. Like there's nothing wrong with your eyebrows. But because her friends are doing eyebrows, that she wants to do eyebrows.
Like the eyebrow situation.
No, I can't.
My son is more about things like stuff that his friend has. Oh, my friend has this, mommy, can I have it? And I'm like, no.
But are you scared of like when he's like getting into his teens, like fighting and?
Oh yeah, for sure, because he does it
now. That's one thing I'm always scared about
with
boys. Like
and if there was that whole situation of him doing something to some kid and they had to call me in, and I was like, literally, I was about to like stand up and slap him in front of his teachers, but you know, you just have to hold yourself back. It's little things like him fighting and getting involved, and then at school you always know the kid that they should stay away from.
I kind of had to go through a process of trying to teach her how to pick her friends and how to realize who's your actual friend and who's not. I mean, that's so important because I think some parents forget about that aspect of their child. You know, just instilling certain values in them so that they can be a good friend to other people, and they can be able to recognize how to pick friends as well. I think it's a really good life lesson to be able to teach your child.
It's important to be very present. What I do is like practically freelance, so I spend my time, my life is practically work. I could be at home, but then I could be editing. I could be at home, but then I could be filming. And it's important to always be present in your child's life, because it's the moment whereby you're like, oh, not now, that they would then go and find something else to do that might impact their opinion negatively. You have to be very, very present, especially in this day and age. You have to be like you have to have 4 eyes. You need to make sure you are seeing everything they're doing. You know,
give them a bit of space.
Give them some space, but you need to be very vigilant.
Involved,
you need to be very involved.
I think one of the important things to be able to establish from when they're younger is being able to have a good communication thing going on, where your child is open to telling you things.
Yeah.
When I had my daughter, there's one thing that I was definitely really adamant about is having, you know, that kind of relationship where she can tell me anything, even if she's gonna get in trouble, even if she's done something wrong. I always say to her, if you do something wrong, don't ever lie to me. You know, tell me the truth. Even if you're gonna get in trouble, because I need to be able to trust you.
Exactly.
We need to have that trust between us, where you know, I can confidently say that if anything happens, you're going to tell me the truth. At least she feels comfortable enough to be able to talk to me about it, and we can have that discussion. At least it's not behind my back where I can't give her support or give her advice or give her guidance. Yeah.
I say to my son, everything you do is a reflection of your parents. Everything you do is a reflection of your family and your home and where you come from. So if you're out there on the streets acting buck wild, everyone's going to think you're from a family who go out on the streets and they act anyhow. I remember when I used to do things back in the day, I'd just be like, oh my God, my parents. Your child, I feel like your child should fear you a little bit. Before they do anything, they'll think, not necessarily my mum's going to beat me, but you don't want to disappoint your mum. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, oh, if my mum finds out, she's going to be so heartbroken. That kind of feeling.
I'm just praying that my child at least can have that ability to just think that, oh, like, do I really want to do this? If my mum ever finds out. Ooh. What about in terms of, like, obviously as single mums, you know, we have the responsibility of, you know, having a child at home, but then we're still, you know, freelancing, trying to do your own thing, trying to follow your career, trying to balance both, being a mum, being there for your child, being present in your child's life, but also really focusing on your career and really pushing. Like, how are you finding that?
I think I'm able to do a lot of what I do because I have, like, help. Because if it was just me, I don't think I'd be able to do a lot of my work. Especially when it comes to, like, going away for work or just even being in another city for one night for some kind of job. It's difficult to, I couldn't imagine, like, having to, like, lug the poor boy here and there. And then, but, you know, I always believe that no matter what, if you want to achieve something, you'll find a way. You'll find a way. A way always happens. You have to make sure you have, like, good people around you. Forget family. Family is family, so they're there. But you have to make sure you have, like, a good team of friends who are like family. So when family fails, you have your backup. But I'm just blessed because now everyone around me is at the stage where they understand, and, you know, especially like my mum, my direct family, people that I need directly, and his dad as well on his dad's side. So I'm blessed because I guess I have those people there.
The support, and I find that as well, like, as my daughter's gone older, it's been a lot easier because now she's at an age where she can just jump on a bus or train and go to her nan's on my side, or her nan's on her dad's side, or go to her dad's. Like, you know, I've got so much more freedom. I don't have to drop her physically anywhere. Exactly. I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people didn't actually know that I had a child. Because she's not always with me. I do so much, and, you know, and I think a lot of people forget that even though you might have a child, you know, life doesn't stop. You can still, like, keep it moving, and there's other people that can look after your child, and other places that your child can go, and people that she can stay with while you're doing your thing as well. And it's just about balance. It's just, you know, knowing that yes, you're focused on your career, there's things that you want to do, places you want to go,
but you still need to be a mum.
But still being a mum, still being present in your child's life, knowing what's going on at school, knowing what's happening with friends, and just being involved in your child's life. You know, my daughter can talk for England, and it could just be a case of me listening to her when I get home from something, and just hearing her story of what happened that day, or where she went with her friends and blah blah, just listening, just so that she knows that I actually care about her. Yes, I'm running around doing things, traveling here, doing this, doing that, but I'm actually interested in what she's doing and what's going on in her life. If you're a mum and, you know, you've got a child and there's something that you want to pursue, or career path that you want to go down, and you're thinking, how can I do it? I'm working and I have a child, how can I really do it? Like, if you really want to do it, you will find a way. Don't use your child as an excuse, because if we like use our children as excuses, we wouldn't be doing this video right now. We wouldn't, you know what I mean, we wouldn't be doing the jobs that we do and following our career path in the way that we are. So don't make your child as an excuse as to why you can't pursue your career and things that you want to do. You know, just have this research what is available around you. What can you do? How can you support yourself?
How can you get help?
How can you get help in order for you to do what it is that you want to do? There is always a way around things, and if you're that determined and that motivated to do it, you'll find a way. Go, you got this. You got it, girl. Don't worry. You got this. I hope you guys have enjoyed our little chit chat on being single mums, young mums in 2016, and some of our challenges. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to some of the things that we've said. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and we will be doing a part 2 of this video where we're going to be focusing more on the dating aspects of being a single mom or a baby mama. So look out for part 2, and make sure you subscribe, like, share this video. Check out Esther's YouTube channel as well. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Peace out.
No, we're gonna come off again.